What's going on, guys? Ben with liftedimports.com here. Today I wanted to give you a review on my Anderson Design and Fabrication Subaru lift kit. Just want to give you a quick overview on my thoughts. Now, I've been running their kits for probably about 10 years. Now, the kit that I currently own is on a 2006 Subaru Forester. I've had that specific kit installed for about 4 years. But like I said, I've been running their stuff for about 10. And just kind of wanted to give you an overview of some of the basic features that I think set these kits apart, and just kind of give you a rundown on my overall ownership experience. But before we jump into that, if you want more information about lifting Subarus, taking Subarus off-road, head over to the liftedimports.com website. Check out some of the build features that we got over there. There's a bunch of information from other people that have already lifted their cars, already built them for off-road use. That's a great way to just get a good sense of kind of what you're getting into and to get some good inspiration. So head over there, check it out, but let's go ahead and jump in. Now, I'm a huge fan of 2-inch lift kits. That's what I've always run. That's what this is. And real quick, I just wanted to just kind of show you this spacer. This is, I haven't run this on my car. I actually just, I asked Pat if I could borrow a spacer. Pat's the owner of Anderson Design and Fabrication. He and I have become friends over the years and really love his parts. But yeah, he was kind enough to send this over to me so that I could show it to you guys. And I want to just go ahead and show you a couple things that I think are really important with lift kits when it comes to Subarus. The first thing is the weld quality on these spacers. Each weld goes almost completely around the circumference of the spacer. So the only place where you have breaks is where the bolts are, and in my opinion, that's absolute overkill. So not only are these strong, but it's going to be darn near impossible to do anything that's going to break these welds. Now, I've seen some other brands that are out there that have welds that are just maybe, I'm not even kidding, like an inch long. And in my opinion, you know, if you're going to install a lift kit on your Subaru, it's something that you should be able to install once and then not worry about it. And I really appreciate that Pat makes sure that a weld is not going to be the weak point in his lift kits. Now, the next thing that I would point out is the powder coating. These are not just painted, they're actually powder coated, which is a completely different process that actually adheres. And I'm not a powder coater. I don't do that stuff, but it's actually like, I think they use like an electric charge to bond the coating to the steel. And so it just stays on there much more effectively than paint would. And the benefit of that is you're not going to deal with as much rust issues. Now, again, I've got my current ADF kit on my Subaru. It's been on there for about 4 years. I was just in there recently looking at some stuff, working on something. Zero rust. There's no problems. You're not going to have to worry about the coating rubbing itself off and then, you know, creating an area where rust can develop. I've literally never had that issue. You can also look online and see that there's a lot of folks that once they sell one of their Subarus, they might actually have their old ADF lift kit for sale. And if you look at them, they might be dirty, but the coating survives very, very well. And I absolutely appreciate that. It's not cheap to get things powder coated, but they do it in such large numbers that they're able to kind of cut down on that cost a little bit for us, which I really appreciate. And they have this stuff powder coated locally in a facility that they're very familiar with. They do a lot of business with this family-owned powder coating facility. Okay, so the next thing that I would point out to you that I think has just really bolstered my approval of these lift kits is the hardware. I was talking to Patrick, and they really don't use any hardware on their lift kits that's not grade 10. Anything that they can get that's grade 10, they always put it. I've literally never received any parts from them that had hardware that was not grade 10, unless it's just something really small that doesn't need to be like load bearing. But like the studs here, these studs, they're grade 10 studs. You're gonna have a super hard time breaking these. I've never heard of anybody breaking one of these studs. I've seen some real cheap kits like Amazon and eBay kits. I've actually talked to people who've personally had the hardware in those shear completely off. And you know, if you're driving fast, or you know, you're in certain situations, that can actually be a serious thing. I mean, it's a serious issue in and of itself, but it can go from being a serious issue to a fatal issue, and all over, you know, like $2 worth of hardware. So the hardware is always solid. Pat doesn't mess around with cheap stuff. And you know, on the subject of hardware, they obviously use extremely thick steel. I can't remember what the thickness of this is, but it's very heavy duty. You would be hard pressed to bend this even with a hammer, you know. Absolutely tough stuff. The next thing that I would say to look at with these kits is they have camber correction built into them. So what that means is that the bottom plate and the top plate are actually offset from each other. And the reason that ADF does this is when you lift the vehicle, you're going to kind of change the geometry of how the suspension turns out once it's up off the ground a little bit further. And what that does is that helps bring it back into factory spec. Now obviously you need to take your car in for an alignment after you work on the suspension, but you'll notice that with a lot of the, you know, just solid block kits that are out there, they don't have it built in, and so people have to get camber bolts and do, you know, other things that end up costing more than the money that they saved by going with a cheap lift kit. And it usually still doesn't turn out right, because a lot of times, you know, when you take a car into an alignment shop, unless they really know what they're doing, and you have a bunch of aftermarket parts on there that are adjustable. I mean, it's good to have that stuff there, and you obviously need to be able to bring your car into the correct specs, but why do that when you can just have it built into the modification that you were installing in the first place? To me, that just makes way more sense. I've never had any problem getting my Subarus into the correct alignment specs when using a good quality lift kit like the ones from ADF. And I absolutely just really appreciate that they do that. And I would not use anything that doesn't have camber correction built in. The next thing that I would point out is the ADF lift kits. They're super easy to install. They are built well, which means that sometimes with mass manufacturing that's done in these, I guess just in facilities that have low quality control, you're gonna have situations where sometimes the bolts don't line up. You're gonna have some situations where the fit and finish isn't correct, or maybe a bolt hole didn't get drilled out all the way. I've actually seen that happen with people's lift kits that were just not built correctly and caused a lot of problems during installation, because sometimes people, they think they're doing something wrong when in reality the manufacturer just didn't drill the holes right, you know. So things like that are just super frustrating. I can't express how annoying stuff like that is. But with the ADF kits, in every situation that I've experienced has always been right the first time. And if it's not, Patrick's always super easy to deal with if you need something fit. Like if there's something that they did that isn't right, Pat's gonna fix it for you. And I've never, even before he and I kind of connected and became friends, back in the day when we didn't know each other at all, and I would call them to ask questions, they would always pick up, and 9 times out of 10 it was him that was talking to me, and he was always down to answer questions that I had. Super helpful. And that's what I've heard from other people that have, run into install problems and stuff. They give them a call, and they're always down to help troubleshoot and that type of thing. Which brings me to the next point, which is their customer service is top notch. And I think that that's something that gets overlooked a lot in the car parts industry. In all industries, people forget how helpful it is to have good customer service. So, I mean, obviously you want to buy from a company that is not going to cause you problems in the first place. But even if you're doing your best every single day, there's always going to be issues that the customer is going to have. And sometimes those issues require you having to call and troubleshoot, and whether it's just something that you're not familiar with, or if you think that there's maybe some sort of a problem or defect with the part that they sent you, they're always there to kind of help sort that out with you, help figure out, okay, is this something where we need to send you out a new part, or is this something where you just need to change your approach, or maybe you've got these spacers backwards, or whatever it is. Being able to get on the phone with the manufacturer is so much easier than trying to call some number in a foreign country, or deal with like Amazon customer service. They don't know what they're doing, and here your car is up on jack stands, you've got your suspension pulled apart, and you have no idea what you're going to do. That type of stuff really sucks, and buying from a good, solid company, it just kind of takes that guesswork out of the whole situation. With the ADF lift kits, a lot of you might be asking, well, that's just a spacer kit. Like, why would I run a spacer kit when I could do a suspension lift? So with Subarus, I actually prefer spacer lifts. And the reason that I'd like that is because on a Subaru, you don't really gain too much when you go with a suspension lift, unless you're installing a suspension lift for a very specific reason. So like if you do rallycross and you really need to dial in your suspension, you need to actually tune your suspension for driver weight, and you're really into that stuff, or unless you're carrying a real specific amount of weight in the vehicle that you need to be able to dial in with an aftermarket, spring rate. Other than that, I just absolutely love being able to retain the OEM suspension. And the reason that I like that is because it's dependable. You don't have to worry about doing any maintenance to it like you do with coilovers. You don't have to worry about setting it up like with coilovers, because coilovers, I love them. I use coilovers on some of my vehicles, but you have to set them up initially, and it's not just something you can just bolt up and throw in. You really need to know what you're doing, and then you need to be doing very regular maintenance. You got to always make sure the collars are clean, that there's no rust on them. You always need to be making sure you've got some sort of rust inhibitor on there. The other thing that I like is, in the off chance that I bend a shock or a strut, I really don't want to have to worry about figuring out how to get one from the manufacturer. In all honesty, if I bend like a KYB or an OEM Subaru strut, I can have a new one shipped right to my house within a day or two. I may even be able to go right to the local auto parts store and get one right off the shelf. Just kind of depends on, where you live and the availability for your specific car. But yeah, if that's something that you're also worried about, spacer lifts aren't the right way to lift a vehicle. With a Subaru, there's really no downside to it, in my opinion, for most users. I would say between 90 and 95% of people that are lifting Subarus, a spacer kit's actually one of the best ways you can go. It's so hassle-free, easy to deal with, and for those of you that do need a specific spring rate, you can absolutely do that while running a spacer lift. You can just do aftermarket springs in an OEM strut, or you can just go with some of the other stuff that's out there. I just like the dependability and the ease of install using OEM suspension stuff. I know they might be a little bit more expensive than some of the Amazon and eBay kits that you might be tempted to buy and save a couple bucks, but the quality, the customer service, and just the overall fit and finish, I think, is absolutely fantastic. So if you got any questions about these, let me know. Like I said, I've been using mine for a long time, so if you have any questions about what my experience has been, let me know in the comments. If you want to check out more information about off-roading Subarus, check out some of the other videos on the channel. You can check out the liftedimports.com website. That's actually where we have most of the information that we've collected over the years. Got a lot of good build features over there. Until next time, I'll see you guys out on the trail. Hope you have a wonderful day.